So the rapper DaBaby has, I can't even say his name without laughing. The rapper DaBaby, I don't know how to emphasize DaBaby. The rapper DaBaby has found himself in the middle of a full-blown PR crisis stemming from comments he made at a concert recently. And by the way, please don't confuse DaBaby with Lil Baby or Say DaBaby or Bad Baby. These are all different people, different babies, I think. DaBaby is the one who's in trouble now because he used anti-gay slurs during a concert in Miami recently. At one point during the show, he called for people who don't have HIV to put their cell phone lights up. Now, if you haven't been to a concert since 2005, just so you know, the cell phone light has replaced the lighter. So, you put that up like people used to put lighters up at concerts. He also called for men who haven't performed certain sexual acts on other men in the parking lot to put their cell phone lights up. It isn't clear why he said this or why he brought it up, but it would appear to be some kind of joke that he made. And the joke did not land. Quickly, other artists came out and condemned DaBaby. Young artists like Dua Lipa, whoever that is. I don't know. I can't even say these people's names. And old artists like Elton John and Madonna also came out. Many others spoke out to chastise DaBaby and put him in timeout, like so many babies before him. And then the financial penalties really kicked in. Lollapalooza dropped him from their lineup. iHeartRadio Festival dropped him. He was dumped by Austin City Limits and the Governor's Ball. He was banned from performing at his cousin's birthday party. The point is, he quickly became persona non grata across the music industry. Now, DaBaby tried to satiate the mob by addressing the situation on Instagram in the immediate aftermath. His remarks were, and we'll play them for you, I think you'll agree, they're quite eloquent and worth listening to. Let's listen.
We internet one time, and I'm gonna get back to giving my love to my fans. See what I'm saying? Because what me and my fans do at the live show, it don't concern you on the internet or you bitter on the internet. It's not y'all business. You know what I'm saying? Like what I do at a live show is for the audience at the live show. It'll never translate correctly to somebody looking at a little 5-6 second clip from their crib on their phone. It just don't work like that. Like, because regardless of what you talking about, how the internet and twisted up my word, me and all my fans at the show, the gay ones and the straight ones, we turned the up. I'm talking about my boy that was at the front of the stage left over there by where I jumped at. Ask him. He got clips all on his The whole night was recording. We would turn the whole night. My boy had the crop top on, front row. Yeah, out there in that jungle, in that water. Yeah, he out there. He's standing on the rail, got them cutting up. He know the words. I saw him. I'm rapping them with him.
Indeed. It is not your business. And he raises a good point. I mean, there was a guy with a crop top in the front row. And he was turned. What else do you want? The guy with the crop top was turned. So it's not your business. End of discussion. Except it was not the end of the discussion. Shockingly, the statement that he released there didn't do anything to quell the outrage. So he tried again with a written statement and full apology. I'll read this statement to you, and I don't know, it just sounds a little bit different from what we just heard there in Instagram, but I don't know, you tell me. He said, this is what was the statement that was published from DaBaby. Social media moves so fast that people want to demolish you before you even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn from your mistakes. As a man who has made his own way from very difficult circumstances, having people I know publicly working against me, knowing that what I needed was an education on these topics and guidance, has been challenging. I appreciate the many people who came to me with kindness, who reached out to me privately to offer wisdom, education, and resources. That's what I needed, and it was received. I want to apologize to the LGBTQ plus community for the hurtful and triggering comments I made. Again, I apologize for my misinformed comments about HIV/AIDS, and I know education on this is important. Love to all. God bless. Now, if I know DaBaby, and I don't know him, but still, I don't think he wrote that. I'm guessing he is not the one who wrote the phrase, I apologize to the LGBTQ plus community for the hurtful and triggering comments. But whoever wrote it, it was not enough. DaBaby has crossed a line that you can't cross these days, which is interesting because it's not as though those comments about gay people were the first objectionable things he's ever said in his life. his songs, the songs that these music festivals have hired him to come and perform, are each a succession of one objectionable statement after another. In fact, those songs, the songs that, again, the music festivals hired him to perform and then banned him from performing, contain statements and ideas that are far more outrageous and offensive than anything he said about HIV or gay people. He actively promotes murder, drug dealing, violent crime of all sorts, the objectification and murder of women, among other things. Just one verse on one song will likely contain all of these things. For example, one of his biggest singles is a song called Suge, which is an homage to Suge Knight, who's the murderous former CEO of Death Row Records, who's now serving time in a maximum security prison for running a guy down in his car and killing him. And the song lives up to its namesake. I'll play a quick clip just to give you an idea of what this guy is all about. Let's play this.
Packing the mail, it's gone. She like I smell cologne. Yeah, I just signed a deal, I'm on. Yeah. I go where I want, good. Play if you want, let's do it. I'm a young CEO, sure. Yeah. The first play on my body. I just check my balance, I probably pull up to your hood and come buy me a no cap. You know that your hoe told you that crazy, don't think that she lied to you. Get caught with your when I'm popping them both, now they hot just like Bobby and Whitney. Say I'm the GOAT, act like I don't know. Fucking I'm obviously winning. Don't make me go hit the bank and take out 100 to show you our pockets is different. I'm out with your bitch and I only want knowledge. She got a little mileage, I'm chillin'. You disrespect me and I beat your ass up all in front of your partners and children. I'm the type that let think that I'm broke until I pop out with $1 million. And take 20K and put that on your head and make one of your partners come kill you. Yeah. Say f***ing with me, then he gotta grow up, cause this gotta be killed. This shit can't fit in my pocket, I got it. Like I hit the lottery. I slap shit out of no talking, I don't like to argue with don't. Ain't gonna be no more laughing, you see me whip out, cause I'm gonna be the shot me and okay. I don't follow no on IG, but all of your they following. And that little nigga ain't gonna shoot with that gun, he just pull it out in this picture.
Mm-hmm. Truly a masterpiece. And the editors love me when I send them stuff like that. Here you go, guys. Spend the next 15 hours editing this to get all the cuss words out. If you weren't able to understand anything there, let me run through some of the highlights. Here's what he says. The first N-word play, I'm a body an N-word. I just checked my balance. I'll probably pull up to your hood, get caught with your then I'm popping them both. You disrespect me and I'll beat your up in front of your partners and children. Take 20K and put that on your head and make one of your partners come kill you, et cetera, and so forth. Now, to review, in just the first verse of one song, he's killing someone, then killing someone else along with that guy's girlfriend, and then he's assaulting someone in front of their children, and then he's putting a hit out on someone else. And later in that song, he blows someone's head off, shoots somebody in front of their grandmother, and has sex with various b****s and in his words, not mine. He also said that he also seems to brag about having sex with a girl in grade school, saying that he pulls up after school to teach her some shit. Now, I hope I'm not misinterpreting, but I can only assume he's not bragging about giving actual math lessons. Now, DaBaby is not any different from the average rapper, but does that make it okay to openly romanticize death and slaughter and sexual violence? And if you're upset about derogatory comments about LGBT people, which means you're taking what this guy says seriously, you're holding him to a certain standard in his speech, then why wouldn't you be upset about literally everything else he's ever said in any of his songs? Just consider the absolute absurdity of a DaBaby fan singing along as he talks about shooting hoes in the face and then going, whoa. Hey, don't be insensitive to LGBT people, DaBaby. Come on, have some class, young man. Please understand something. I am not equating his song lyrics with what he said about gay people and AIDS. I would never do that. They're not the same. Because the song lyrics are 1,000 times worse. They are worse not only in their content, but in their effect. The violent crime problem in our cities is largely driven by young men who grew up without fathers in the home. Those young men look to guys like DaBaby as role models. These rappers are the only male role models that many of these kids have. So when these role models are standing in front of them and explicitly saying, hey, it's cool to shoot and kill people if you have a beef with them, or even if you don't, that has an impact. That resonates. It's not a coincidence that probably close to 100% of the murderers arrested in the city, in any given city, listen to rap music. I bet we could comb through every penitentiary in the country and find like 2 classical music fans, if that many. it's not a matter of rap music directly causing violent crime. We're talking about influence. The messages that you pump into your eardrums every day will influence you. Of course they will. And the messages from guys like DaBaby are not just negative, not just bad, but they're almost absurdly evil, cartoonishly cruel. Only the people influenced by them don't see them as cartoonish, and the rappers themselves don't see it as cartoonish. Only well-adjusted adults can hear these kinds of songs and find them laughably ridiculous. The rap fans who were upset about DaBaby's comments about gay people will probably hear what I'm saying right now and scoff, insisting that lyrics are just words and they don't mean anything, they don't have any real impact. And yet when it comes to the comments about gay people, they certainly do think it matters, and it does mean something, and it does have an impact. So for them, some words are violence, and yet words that literally and directly encourage violence are harmless. It's completely backwards and incoherent. And lying at the heart of all this is a demented and vacuous moral code which excuses nearly all evil, applauds nearly all sin, except when it upsets a member of the protected class. It's a kind of elitism, except far more morally vacuous than normal elitism. And for all of those reasons, the mob, which is selectively outraged at DaBaby, is today canceled. And DaBaby is canceled too. But not even because of what he said about gay people. I'm more concerned, again, about the fact that he's going around encouraging people to kill each other. That, to me, seems like the bigger issue. So all those people are canceled today. Listen, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It is somewhat appreciated.